Hello, I'm Mike, this is Will, we are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And we're bringing you issue 51 of Warhammer 40k Conquest today. And in this issue we've got a Haemotrope Reactor terrain piece, so the first of two that we'll get with the magazine. And before we head in, as always, if you want to skip straight to the battle report, there'll be a time code in the description. We're heading into the issue. First up, we've got some background on the Salamanders chapter, one of the original first founding legions. Some of their specialties, they specialise in fire weapons, who their Primarch is Vulcan, and the fact that they only have 7 companies rather than 10 as the regular Space Marine chapters, because there aren't enough of them to have 10. And they've got their different company colours and that sort of thing. I've got some more background on the setting, the Dark Imperium setting, so this is in the 42nd millennium. Got the Siege of Baal and Siege of Armageddon by Chaos Forces. And here we've got some background on the Chaos Space Marines, the Heretic Astartes, showing the 9 traitor legions. And going in, we've got some background on the Black Legion and General Renegades, and a showcase of some of the new Chaos models we've released fairly recently. We've got some little brief snippets of the Night Lords, the Iron Warriors, and the Word Bearers legions. And then we've got our build guide for the Haemotrope Reactor. It's a fairly large terrain piece, but it goes together quite easily. And then the painting guide for it, again, it's basically mostly silver. It's fairly similar to other terrain pieces. As I usually do, I've used Balthasar gold rather than Retributor armour, so it's more of a brass colour than the really bright gold. You just need to be neat when painting these white for the skull, white and black, to get a neat join between the black and the white. And that'll be it, so we'll head into our mission.
Then before we get on to our mission, we have just a brief selection of rules for the new Haemotrope Reactor, which it provides cover if a unit has all of its models within 3 inches of it, apparently, and only if all of the models are 25% or more obscured by the reactor itself. But it also hazardous cover, so as with some previous terrain pieces we've had, on a roll of a 1, after passing an armour save of a roll of 6, then the unit will suffer a mortal wound. And then over the page there's just examples of how to do that. And then for the mission, we have a bit of fiction as usual. Apparently the Death Guard are trying to destroy things. They're trying to destroy the Haemotrope Reactor, and there's other power generation things, and the Space Marines are trying to defend it. But we have the return of Lord Felthius, according to this text. So he and Lord Gangrus, apparently their leadership struggle was inconclusive, unlike in our game, and they've put aside their differences in order to try and defeat the Space Marines. So we will see Lord Felthius in this mission. And then in the mission itself, there's the board set up, so the Death Guard deploy all the way down here in the city zone, and the Space Marines deploy in the opposite corner of the board around the Haemotrope Reactor, or at least that's their deployment zone. They don't all start on the board. Yes, so the Space Marines begin with 2 units on the board, and then they may move on a single unit at the start of their movement phase by moving into the deployment zone from either of the board edges. So the Space Marines deploy their 2 units first, then the Death Guard player deploys all of their units, and the Death Guard player gets to go first. Then there are 3 victory points for holding the Haemotrope Reactor at the end of the game. It's the usual procedure, the most models within 3 inches, and there's also Slay the Warlord for a victory point. And then it lasts for 5 battle rounds. And as before, we have 3 command points each to use, as you can see there. So with that, we'll have a look at the armies and then get to the game. So here are our Space Marine forces who will be defending the reactor. We've got the Captain in Gravis armour, leading the 5 Intercessors, 3 Hellblasters, 3 Aggressors, and the 2 Inceptors returning, as well as the Hellblasters for that matter. We haven't seen them in a while.
My Warlord trait, I'm going to pick Storm of Fire again, Old Faithful.
And here is our Death Guard force. As I said before, we have the return of Lord Felthius, who's supported as always by the Tainted Cohort, and Faithful Champion Repugnus, and 5 Plague Marines this time, with 2 Blight Launchers. And we've got 12 Poxwalkers and the Chaos Rhino. And then obviously Felthius will be the Warlord, and he's going to have Tainted Regeneration, which is the one that lets him regenerate a wound every turn. So the Space Marines have deployed like this. They can deploy 2 of their units at the start of the game.
Yeah, so I've gone for the Intercessors, because there's a lot of them. And I put down the Aggressors, because, if you do Deep Strike straight away in your first turn, at least I'll have something to hopefully deal with the Terminators.
And down here in the opposite corner is the Death Guard deployment. Well, we've got the Rhino here, which has the Plague Marines inside it, and the Poxwalkers there, some of them on top of the pipe, because they've got a really long way to run, and so the further forward they start, the better. And then Lord Felthius and the Tainted Cohort, as usual, will be deploying in the Teleportarium. The Death Guard get to go first, so we'll be on to Death Guard, turn 1. So in my first movement phase, both of these units are going to advance, because we're a long way away at the moment, so we'll start with the Poxwalkers. They roll a 1. So that gets them there into that slightly peculiar arrangement. And then the Rhino will also advance. 5, that's a bit better. You're 17 inches. And that's enough to get it over to here in these ruins. And then at the end of my movement phase, the Tainted Cohort and Lord Felthius will come down over here, so they're 9 inches away from those intercessors. Basically, because if I don't, then some nice fast unit will come zooming on the Space Marine deployment zone and force me to deploy them a long way away. So this is about the only chance I'm going to get them close to the objective. So I'll be on to the shooting phase. Well, the Rhino cannot shoot, but it can pop its smoke launchers, so it will do that, so it will be a -1 to hit in your shooting phase. And then the Tainted Cohort have 2 combi bolters that are in range, they'll shoot at the intercessors. So I'll have 8 shots hitting on 3s. Ooh, 7 hits. And then wounding on 4s. 5 wounds, that's not bad for them.
Pretty good for them. 3+ armor saves. Failed 2, so an intercessor will go down. This was.
That's all I have to shoot with, so on to the charge phase. The Tainted Cohort will declare a charge first, on the intercessors obviously.
So we'll Overwatch with our bolt rifles. We have 8 shots hitting on 6s. That's 2 hits. And wounding on 5s. Nothing.
And then their charge distance will be 3 inches, so they're not going anywhere. But Lord Felthius will have a go as well.
Yeah, so we'll Overwatch him as well. 8 shots hitting on 6s. Only 1 hit this time. Wounds on 5. Doesn't.
And then his charge roll is a 12. So that'll get him in.
Yep.
So he's going it alone and gets into there. And then obviously in the fight phase he will get to strike. So he has 4 attacks hitting on 2s. 3 hits, but I did get a Death of the False Emperor, so that's 4 hits. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. They were wounded.
6+ armor saves. Made none of them.
So D3 damage 1 at a time, so we've got 1, so the second one will then kill somebody.
Yeah.
And then we've got 3 and 3, so that's 3 dead in total.
Everyone except the Sergeant dies. Sergeant gets to hit back. Hitting on 3s, 2 hits. Wounding on 5s, nothing.
So that's it for the fight phase, but in the morale phase, the Sergeant does actually have to take a leadership test, because on a 6 he will fail it, having lost 4 men, and it's fine. But with that, we'll be on to Space Marines turn 1. So we actually made a slight error when I was describing the mission. The Space Marines, it says, can bring on all of their reinforcement units, or it doesn't specify only one, so all of them can move on at the beginning of any Space Marine turn.
So at the start of my movement phase, the Captain will come on 5 inches from this board edge. The Hellblasters will also come on, they're just going to stay on the board edge. And the Inceptors are just going to come on normally, I'm not going to deep strike them. In the actual movement phase, Sarge will fall back, so he'll go over here. And the Aggressors are going to move round. 5 inches gets into there.
So we'll be on to the shooting phase then?
Yep. Well, I'll start with the Hellblasters. We are going to risk overcharging. They can all see Felthius, and he's the closest enemy model, so we'll shoot at him. We'll shoot him individually, because we might blow up. Hellblaster number 1, hitting on 3s, rolling 1s, that's 2 hits. Number 2, gets 1 hit. And Sarge,
Number 1.
gets 2 hits. So that's 4 hits in total on Felthius. So it's 5 hits. Wounding on 3s. I'm going to command point reroll 1.
Okay, so down to 2 command points for the Space Marines.
3 wounds.
He gets his 4+ invulnerable save, which he has made none of. So that will be 6 damage. I'm going to spend the command point to reroll 1 of those. So I'm also down to 2, and then re-rolling. Right, at least I made that. So it's 4 damage, which I have to take Disgusting Irresilient for. I made 1 of those, so he takes 3 damage.
So he's down to 3 wounds. Next I'll do the Aggressors, because nothing else will be in range. So 66 automatic hits on Felthius. So 26 hits. So I'll do 2 batches of 13. Wounding on 5s. That's 4 2+ saves and 1 3+ save so far, because of Storm Fire. And then there's another 3 2+ saves, so that's 7 2+ saves and 2 3+ saves.
We'll do the 3+ saves first, so 3+, they've both made those. And then 7 2+, failed 1, so Disgustingly Resilient on that. No, so it's another wound.
Down to 2 wounds. Do the Inceptors next, shooting at Felthius.
Right.
So 12 shots from the Inceptors, hitting on 3s, you're on 1s. Reroll all of those 1s.
Yeah, good thing.
9 hits. Wounding on 4s, because it's strength 5. So that's going to be a 1 3+ save and 2 4+ saves.
Yeah, so 4 pluses, failed 1. No, he's not going to die from that, so we'll do the 3+, past that, so it's only 1 more. Oh, okay, that doesn't go through, so no damage from them.
Sarge will shoot, is he within 6 inches? He is, he'll throw a crack grenade. Hitting on a 4, missed, re-rolling 1s though. Hit, wounds on a 3, Nope. And then the captain has his Bolt Storm Gauntlet.
Yeah.
3 shots hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. 3 hits, wounding on 5s. So that's a 3+.
Yep, because Storm of Fire again. I've made that.
So, in the charge phase, the aggressors will charge Felthius.
Yeah, well, he has no Overwatch.
And they're definitely in. And then the captain might as well have a go as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough.
Definitely in.
Right, and then you get to fight with somebody.
I'll start with the captain. He's going to use his Bolt Storm Gauntlet. So he's got 5 attacks hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Rerolling that 1. Nope. 3 hits, wounding on 3s. Oh, command point reroll just to try and get another one.
Yeah, that is 3 wounds. 4+ invulnerable saves against them. I'm going to risk letting those go through. So it's 2d3 damage.
2d3 damage. It's 4.
It's probably a mistake, actually. Yeah, it is. Yeah. He dies. And even with a command point, I can't save him. I was hoping to save my command points to let him interrupt.
Felthius goes down.
Yes.
Phew.
And you do get a victory point for that, for Slay the Warlord, but since the only other victory points available are 3 for holding the objective, it's probably not going to affect it.
We'll add it up at the end.
So there won't be any piling in or consolidating from either of those units that charged. So that'll be end of Space Marines turn 1. On to Death Guard turn 2. In my movement phase, the Tainted Cohort have moved up a bit, and the Plague Marines have got out of the Rhino here, and now they're going to do their movement. So they've moved up to there, and the Rhino has moved normally as well, like 12 inches, gets it up to there. And then finally the Poxwalkers will advance. 2 inches. Well, they're getting a little bit quicker.
Yeah, they're helping.
And that gets them to there. So they're getting there, slowly. Actually, in the shooting phase, we'll do the Plague Marines first. They're going to shoot everything at the aggressors. So we've got 4 shots with Blight Launchers, hitting on 3s. They all hit. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. 1. It's 3 wounds.
3 5+ armor saves. Made 1.
So D3 damage on the first is 2, and then the second is 3. So that kills.
So Sarge lives. Other 2 die.
Then we'll do the Champion's Plasma Gun, not supercharged, 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Only 1 wound.
6+. Made it.
Right. And we've got 4 shots from Bolt Guns on 3s. 3 hits, wounding on 5s. That's 1.
3+ armor save. No.
No.
So Sarge goes down to 1 wound.
We'll do the Rhino next. It'll put everything into the Aggressor Sergeant, see if I can get rid of him. So we've got the Combi Bolter, which is in rapid fire range on 3s. That's 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. That's another wound.
3+ armor save. Made it.
Yeah, and then the Havoc Launcher, D6 shots, 3. Hitting on 4s because it moved. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 4s because it's strength 5. That's a wound again. No armor penetration.
3+. Made it.
Yeah, so Sarge doesn't go down. And then finally we have the Tainted Cohort. The Plague Smear Man is definitely closer to the captain, so he will shoot at the captain. And the other 2, they're going to put their Combi Bolters into the Sarge. So we'll do those. So on 3s, 6 hits. Wounding on 5s. That's 2.
2 3+ armor saves.
There
Fell
it goes.
both. Sarge goes down.
Then we've got the Plague Spear on the captain, D6 hits, 5. Wounding on 4s because it's strength 5, he's toughness 5. 3 wounds. Oh, but rerolling 1s. 4 wounds.
4+ armor saves.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take 2.
Okay, he's down to 4. In the charge phase, the Tainted Cohort will charge the captain and the Intercessor Sergeant, just in case I roll really long.
Okay, so got the captain's Overwatch, hitting on 6s, rerolling 1s. There's no hits, and the Intercessor with his bolt rifle gets a hit. Wounds on a 5. No.
Then their charge roll is going to be 7, so we'll see where that goes. So they finish like that. And the Plague Marines are within 12 inches of the captain, so they might as well declare a charge. It's going to be pretty long. No, 8 isn't enough. The Rhino won't charge anybody, so the captain can't directly intervene because he's in base contact, so this Terminator will just pile into the Intercessor Sergeant. But they'll put all their attacks on the captain. So we'll start with the Robotic Axe, 2 attacks on 3s. Nothing. The Sword, 2 attacks on 3s, that's better. 2 hits and Death of the False Emperor. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound, but it is at minus 4 AP.
4+ invulnerable save.
Yeah, or it's going to be 4+ anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant.
4+ invulnerable save. Made it.
And then the guy without any melee weapon hits on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 5s again. No.
So the captain gets to fight back. I'll use the Bolt Storm Gauntlet again. So you've got 5 attacks sitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. Rolling that 1. Nope, still can only get 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds.
Okay, so 4+ invulnerable saves on Terminator armor, made both.
And then the Intercessor Sergeant gets to fight as well. 3 attacks sitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 3 hits, wounding on 5s. There's a wound.
2+ armour. Just. And with that, we'll be on to Space Marines turn 2.
So, in my movement phase, the captain and the sergeant are going to stay in melee. The Hellblasters have to come round here to get the Plague Marines to all be within 15 of the Plague Marines. And the Inceptors are going to stay where they are. So, onto the shooting phase. I'll start with the Inceptors, actually. They're going to shoot at the Plague Marines. They're Assault Bolters.
Okay.
12 shots hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. And that 1 gets re-rolled into a 1. So that's 9 hits, wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. Good job, Inceptors.
They're -1, so 4+. And we'll fail both.
Good job, Inceptors.
And then Disgustingly Resilient, fail both. So didn't work. It didn't turn out too bad in the end. We'll lose the bolt guns, obviously.
And then the Hellblasters will all shoot at the Plague Marines as well.
Yep.
So Hellblaster number 1 gets 1 hit. Hellblaster number 2 misses. And Sarge gets 2 hits. That's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s.
2 wounds.
Yeah, I'll take the 2 wounds.
Okay. No armour saves, so straight to Disgustingly Resilient and they're 2 damage each because it's supercharged. So that kills 1 and kills 2.
So it's the 2 blind launchers, I assume.
Yes.
Intercessor Sergeant's bolt pistol. He hits. Wounds on 5. Oh, -1 AP. So it's 3+.
That just made it.
And then the captain's bolt storm gauntlet. 3 shots. They all hit. Wounds on 5s. Oh, well, there's another -1 AP.
Yep, those 6s again. I made the safe though.
So I'm not going to declare any charges. So in the fight phase, I'll pick the captain to go first. He's got 5 attacks. Going to use the bolt storm gauntlet again. So hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s. 4 hits this time. Wounding on 3s. Now I'll take 2 wounds.
Okay, 4+ invulnerable again. Failed 1, so D3 damage.
3.
Should have re-rolled it, but it doesn't really matter because just lose the man with the spewer thingy, which actually means the sergeant is no longer in melee.
Yep.
Then Terminator will go. We'll do the bubotic axe on the captain. So 2 attacks on 3s, 1 hit, but death of the false emperor. 2 hits. And on 4s, rerolling 1s. That's 1. That's still 1.
4+ invulnerable. 4+ on save.
Made it. 2 attacks from the sword. Gets 2 hits, wounding on 5s. Oh, 2 wounds. 4+ invulnerable again.
4+. They both.
And then in the morale phase, the champion of the Plague Marines lost 4 buddies, so it'll be a morale test, adding 4 to the dice. 3 + 4 is 7, which is less than his Legion with 8, so he stays around. And that'll be it for Space Marines turn 2. So we'll be on to Death Guard turn 3. In my movement phase, the 2-turned cohort, I'm going to stay in melee with the captain. The Plague Champion has moved up there, and the Rhino has also moved up. And then the Poxwalkers all the way over here are going to advance again. 2 inches again. And that gets them to there, so the first one's made it onto the other battle mat. Yay! Now, in the shooting phase, we have the Rhino and the Plague Champion. We will start with the Plague Champion. He's going to shoot at the Hellblasters. He's not going to supercharge his plasma gun, but he gets 2 shots on 3s. They both hit. Wounding on 3s. And 2 wounds.
6+ armor save. Made 1, failed 1, so Hellblast will take a wound.
Okay, and then the Rhino will shoot at them as well. So 4 shots from the combi bolter on 3s. 2 hits. On 4s. 2 wounds.
3+ armor saves. Failed 1, wounded 1, so wounded man goes down.
Then we've got the hammer launcher, D6 shots, 6. Hitting on 4s because it moved. Wow. Wounding on 3s. 5 wounds, gosh.
5 3+ armor saves.
Ah.
Wait, there was 3, yeah, so I won't bother re-rolling. Sarge is the only one left on a wound.
And then in the charge phase, the Rhino will charge Sarge and the Captain as well, I suppose.
Okay.
So you might have to get within an inch of Sarge.
Sarge might as well overcharge.
Okay.
So we can re-roll 1s.
Yep, Captain works in Overwatch.
But he missed.
Yeah, and then it's charge. Right, it's only 3, but that's enough.
That's just enough.
So it just gets into there. And the Plague Champion will charge the Captain as well. It was an extra movement as much as anything else. 8 will be enough. You don't have 2 command points to interrupt, so I will do the Plague Champion first on the Captain. 2 attacks on 4s. 1 hit, wounds on a 3. It did.
4+ invulnerable save. Made it.
The Rhino has 3 attacks on 6s. They'll hit the... Yeah, we'll go for the Hellblaster Sergeant. Nope, all missed. The Terminators will go there, piling like that. We've got the axe on the Captain on 3s. Ooh, 2 and 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds.
4+ armor save. Failed both. Might as well try and reroll one. Nope.
No.
Down to 2 wounds.
And the sword on 3s. 2 hits, winning on 5s. 1 wound at -4, but invulnerable save.
4 plus. Nope.
No.
Down to 1 wound.
Still alive to hit back.
And he'll put his attacks on the Terminators, I suppose. 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s. They all hit.
Yay.
Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds.
4 plus invulnerable saves on these. Failed 2. I'm going to need a command point to reroll one of those. So 4 plus. Nope. So that's 2 times.
First one, 3.
Disgusting Resilient. Made 1, but that's Dead Terminator. So there's what, second one.
3.
Oh, phew. Okay, so 1 Terminator is left on a wound. So the Sword Man will go down, and the Axe Man will be left on 1 wound.
And then the Hellblaster Sergeant gets to fight the Rhino.
Yeah.
3 attacks hitting on 3s, rolling 1s, they all hit. Wounding on 5s.
Yeah.
There's a wound.
3 plus armour. Yeah, of course. Down to 9. But that will be it for Death Guard turn 3. On to Space Marines turn 3.
There's the Intercessor Sergeant's going to move around over here. Hellblaster Sergeant's going to fall back out of melee. Inceptors are going to fly over here. And then the Captain can't fall back, so he's stuck there. So it's on to the shooting phase. So a slight change, the Hellblaster Sergeant's actually going to fall back over the pipe so that he can see the Poxwalkers to shoot at them.
Yeah.
Start with the Hellblaster Sergeant. The only thing he can shoot at is the Poxwalkers. So he's not going to overcharge, obviously, because we fell back. What? He hit. Wounds on a 2.
Yeah, it's toughness 3.
Yeah, wounded.
Just 1 Disgusting Resilient save. Nope, so that's a dead Poxwalker. Take the back.
The Intercessor Sergeant will also shoot at the Poxwalkers. 1 shot hitting on 3, rolling 1s. He hit. Wounds on 3. He wounded.
And Disgusting Resilient. Nope, another dead one. Go off the back.
Then the Inceptors will shoot at the Poxwalkers as well. 12 shots hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. Good job the Captain's here. You roll all of those 1s into 8 hits. Wounding on 3s. Yeah, we can't wound at all.
So 5 plus Disgusting Resilient. Oh, made none of those. So at least they killed 4.
Down to 6 Poxwalkers.
Once again, more off the back.
And then the Captain can shoot. He'll shoot his pistol at the Plague Marine Champion.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he has 3 shots, hitting on 2s, 3 rolling 1s. Nope.
Still a 1.
Wounding on 5s.
Ooh, the 6 again.
4 plus.
4 plus armour. Nope. Disgusting Resilient. Dang it.
Yeah!
So he just gets shot.
Then in the charge phase, the Inceptors will declare a charge on the Terminator.
Oh yeah, alright. Okay.
So, whoop, that's definitely in. And they've completed their charge, so on a 6.
They might take more wounds.
Yeah,
He might do more wounds, rather.
No. And then the Intercessor Sergeant will charge the Terminator as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely in.
Right.
So I'll do the Inceptors first. They have 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. They all hit. Wounding on 5s. It's 2 wounds.
2 plus armour. Failed 1.
Oh.
That's the important one. Disgustingly Resilient. Oh, we may get to shoot.
And then the Intercessor Sergeant gets 2 hits. Wounds on 5s. 1 wound.
2 plus again. Yes.
And then I'll do the Captain.
Yeah, because it's your pick.
Yeah, he'll attack the Terminator with his Boltstorm Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. It's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. Nothing.
So the Terminator lives and he will attack the Captain. He's got 2 attacks on 3s. 1 hit. I might use my last command point to reroll that. Roll that 1. It hits. Wounding on 4s. Ooh, double 6. So minus 3 AP.
4 plus invulnerable saves. Make both.
Made both. But I do have the Rhino. He'll pile in a bit to get closer to the objective. And it'll put its 3 attacks on the Captain, hitting on 6s. Come on, Rhino. Oh. So that's the end of Space Marines turn 3. On to Death Guard turn 4. The Rhino has taken a wound, so the first thing that might happen is it might regenerate. So on 6, it does. No. Well, the Terminator cannot fall back, and the Rhino is going to stay in melee for the moment. So these Poxwalkers will advance again. Come on. 3.
Well, they're improving.
They're coming. They're nearly there. Then they won't be any shooting, straight to the fight phase where I'll pick the Terminator before he gets clobbered. He'll hit the Captain again. 2 attacks on 3s. Death to the False Emperor. 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. Rerolling 1s. No, only 1 wound.
4 plus. No.
No. Captain
goes
dies.
down. Yeah. So that's a victory point for the Death Guard.
Yeah, making it equal.
So I'll pick the Inceptors next. 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. Now re-rolling ones, 3 hits, wounding on 5s, nothing.
Nothing. The Rhino's 3 attacks will go on the Inceptors, because that's the only one we can hit. And no hits on 6s.
And then the Intercessor Sergeant gets 2 hits, wounds on 5s, no.
But that's the end of Death Guard turn 4, on to Space Marines turn 4.
Intercessor Sergeant's going to fall back to block off this path from the Terminator. Hellblaster Sergeant is going to move round over here.
Yeah, right in the back corner.
And the Inceptors are going to fly over the Haemotrope Reactor over here. So on to the shooting phase. I'll do the Inceptors first. They're going to shoot the Poxwalkers.
Yeah, they have no penalty for falling back and shooting, because they can fly.
12 shots hitting on 3s. Lots of 1s and 2s. And wounding on 3s. 4 wounds.
Disgusting resilient. Made none again.
Oh,
These Poxwalkers have... Yeah. I don't think they've made a single one yet. So there's 2 left. Yeah.
So the Hellblaster can see the Poxwalkers, and he's within 15 inches of this Poxwalker, which he can't see, but he can still rapid fire because the unit is within half his weapon range.
Yeah, so he chooses a target unit, and the unit is
within 15. So he gets 2 shots.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to overcharge, so I don't blow up. 2 shots hitting on 3s. Good job we didn't overcharge. Wounds on a 2.
It did. Disgusting resilient. Oh, finally made one.
Made one.
Yay.
And the last thing, the Intercessor Sergeant will throw a crack grenade at the Terminator. Hits on a 4, it hit, wounds on a 3, it was a dub. And that's the end of my turn.
So that means we'll be on to Death Guard turn 5, the final turn of the game. So the first thing that happens in my turn is the Rhino might self-repair again. So on the 6, no, and then it won't move, because it can see the Hellblaster Sergeant who's going to shoot at, and its shooting will be impaired slightly if it moves. Terminator has moved, he can also see the Hellblaster Sergeant, although he will have cover from the new Haemotrope Reactor. And the Poxwalkers are going to advance to try and get 2 bodies near the objective. Need to roll a 4 will be enough to get them both in range at least. So that gets them to there on the far side of the Rhino, they're both within 3 inches of the objective. Then in the shooting phase we'll do the remaining Terminator first, he'll shoot at the Hellblaster Sergeant. 4 shots hitting on 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 4s, nothing. And then the Rhino will do the same, 4 shots from the Combi Bolter, 2 hits, wounding on 4s. 2 wounds, but you do get cover because it's
2 skills. Armour saves. Oh.
Oh, he failed 1. So actually he goes down. And then the Havoc launcher is wasted. And in the charge phase, the Terminator will charge the Intercessor Sergeant.
So I'll Overwatch with using a crack grenade, missed.
Then his charge, he's in, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's definitely in.
Don't need to roll it. Then he gets to attack. He has 2 attacks on 3s. 2 hits, wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s, that's a 6, so it's -4 and a minus... a -3 and a -2.
So we got a 5+ and a 6+. So 5+, failed, 6+, failed.
Failed. He goes down as well. Oh, he'll consolidate a little bit, gets him closer to the closest model. But that'll be it for Death Guard turn 5, because there's nothing more to be done. So go on to Space Marines turn 5. So the remaining 2 Space Marine models move there.
Yep. We just need to kill 2 Poxwalkers to force a draw.
Yep.
So we have 12 shots, hitting on 3s.
That's average.
8 hits.
Finally.
Wounding on 3s. Come on, boys.
Still 2s.
4 wounds.
We'll make 3 disgusting resilience though. Nope.
It's 2 Poxwalkers die.
Yep. And then, are you going to declare a charge?
Nope.
Because you could charge the Terminator and hope to kill him, but then there's there's also a chance you would die instead.
Yeah.
So the game will finish a draw, because we both have Slay the Warlord for 1 victory point, and nobody controls the objective, because it's the number of models within 3 inches, and they're 2 each. Yeah, we'll recap that game for you now. So that was the mission from issue 51 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest, and our second ever draw. How do you think that went?
Yeah, it's about as well as I thought it would for me, at least. Well, I will say, I do think I made a mistake on turn 3, I think. There was a point where why should I have charged the Inceptors into the Rhino, just to stop it charging the Hellblasters?
Well, I think I made a mistake earlier than that, though, in sending Lord Felthius in by himself, to be honest. When subject to the entire firepower of the whole Space Marine army, he actually did stand up too well.
And to be fair, it did basically spend my entire turn shooting at him.
It's true, but it did mean that you got to pick my army about piece at a time, because so once you killed him, you could then devote your attacks on either the Terminators, or I think you went for the Plague Marines next, you killed them, then you killed a load of Poxwalkers. Meanwhile, the captain held up the Terminators, and then... So I think actually by charging Felthius in, rather than waiting for other people to arrive. My intention of bringing them down early, as I said at the time, was to prevent you from blocking them off, because you could have put the Inceptors in and denied me getting anywhere near it. You could have moved your other units out as well. I could
have moved out, and then just moved them back in.
Yeah, so I did achieve that, and I still would probably do that again, but I didn't actually need to charge. Having brought them in, once the Terminators failed their charge, I probably should have just not done it with Lord Felthius.
If you'd rolled better for the advanced rolls in your Poxwalkers, and they could have, like, you got a couple of 6s, and then they could have actually got to the objective and been there, then it would have been...
Yeah, they just got there at the end of the game,
Yeah.
but if they'd been there a turn earlier, then you might have had to deal with them as well.
I mean, I think you rolled pretty poorly if you were all discussing Resilient all game, to be fair.
I did, actually. I don't think... Lord Felthius made hardly any of his. He didn't make one of his invulnerable saves either. The Poxwalkers made...
I think they made one.
One or two, yeah. It made me wish I'd probably taken Revoltingly Resilient for Lord Felthius as well, because he never survived long enough to
start regenerating.
So if I'd had that 4+ Disgustingly Resilient instead, he might have been still there at the end of your turn. But yeah, I mean, the Poxwalkers are completely useless really in this mission. I mean, yeah, they can get there by turn 5, but if they start so far away... Yeah, if I had anything else, almost, to be honest... And the Inceptors didn't roll very well, but they still took out most of the Poxwalkers and 2 of the Plague Marines, and were still alive at the end. You sent them forward to shoot stuff, then charged them around, so they were quite mobile, even though they didn't leave your deployment zone for most of the game. And the Tainted Cohort did what they usually do, which is take a long time to die, but don't do a great deal of damage.
Yeah, it took them. And the Captain did make a lot of invulnerable saves, to be fair.
He did, yeah.
He did roll really well in this game for them.
And actually, probably the first game we had where we got to see the command points in action properly. I mean, all we did was use them for rerolls, but we were able to use them for tactical purposes, if you know what I mean. Like, I need to make this real roll right now. So
and this mission's actually it's more just a straight up fight that was relatively balanced. It wasn't like some sort of gimmick.
No, exactly. And next issue we will get some different stratagems for some unique ones for each side, so we'll get a bit more to do with them, because there was no point in this mission where, other than command point reroll, there wasn't really any use for command points in this mission.
I mean, you could have intervened with Felthius, but I managed to kill him before you could.
Yeah.
And you probably would have used them then.
If he'd been alive, I would have used him then, yes. And then I suppose the fact it was a draw is actually kind of similar to the previous mission we had that was a draw, where
it was you ran across the board.
I ran across the board and you had a big block of shooter units.
Although, to be fair, you were able to get on top of me fairly early.
Yes, I was. You didn't really...
But I guess you couldn't keep the momentum enough to
and I couldn't
stop me doing things.
Couldn't deal out the damage fast enough, because once Felthius was dead, everything else just can't quite
and you killed and I think like the aggressor making an armour save, so you had to put all your shooting into the aggressors to get rid of them. So then my Hellblasters could basically cripple your Plague Marines.
Yeah. And
that was all of your shooting done, basically.
Yeah. And then, the Haemotrope Reactor, it has rules. They're not going to come up very often because it's in the corner. So
it's not really... It's in a position that makes it kind of hard to actually get any benefit from the cover, and it's at the wrong sort of angle as well, since we usually play from the short edges of the board.
I mean, at least you can hide something like the Dreadnought behind it. It is actually physically large enough.
I mean, I do quite like the look of the Haemotrope Reactor, and it's probably one of the biggest models you get with the magazine as well. And we will get another one later.
Yes, there'll be a second one, exactly the same.
Which will hopefully be in a more convenient place.
Yes, well, that'll be on the next battle map. We don't know what the terrain arrangement's going to be like on that one yet. So, well, I think that'll be all for this mission. So, if you liked this video, then please give it a like and subscribe to keep up with the latest ones. If you've been playing these missions yourself, then let us know how you did, or if you have any thoughts about the mission or the forces or our tactics or anything that came up, then do leave a comment. Until next time, we've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you soon.
Bye for now.